Alright guys, Gemini back with another video, and in this video today I'm going to be discussing about not letting WWE DVDs shape your opinions of wrestlers and times in wrestling. We'll get to that here in just a minute. What I first want to discuss, last night, I got an invite from Dark Horse to do a Google Hangout, and I went in there and it was a great time. Just had some beers and relaxed with the guys and talked a lot of wrestling, and man, I mean, there was like an all-star panel in there. I mean, Malik was in there, and Dark Horse, and Wrestling Jesus, and all these really, and Andre Corbeil, who's actually inside the game. It was a pretty epic conversation, and Andre, I mark out for this guy. I mean, he's like inside the Hart family, like Diana Hart, the British Bulldogs, widowed wife, is like legit friends with him. So it's kind of like a big mark out moment when you speak to Andre. Yeah, we got into a discussion about, he asked me in the call if I think that WWE DVDs changed the story to kind of fit their own story and change the fans' perception about the wrestlers. So we'll answer that here in a minute. First thing first, new DVD tomorrow, and that's the best of you could tell I have a cold. I have a little bit of a cold. I'm on some Mucinex right now, and it's no fun. Monday Night War Volume 2, Know Your Role, with some controversial comments from Eric Bischoff. Vince Russo has already responded to his comments up on Vince Russo's YouTube channel. But yeah, it's a new DVD. I'll be back tomorrow with that. But do I think the WWE DVDs change the story around to fit their story? Yeah, absolutely. And I've been down this road a million times, and I've discussed this before. Just my advice, for instance, like if you just started watching wrestling in 2003, 2004, and you popped in the Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior DVD in 2005, I guarantee if you never saw the Ultimate Warrior wrestle before, that gave you a low opinion of him. And I can remember being on YouTube back in like 2008, 2009, and everybody hated on the Ultimate Warrior because of that DVD. It's true that their DVDs are a very powerful tool, and they do have a way to manipulate the fans' idea of what was happening at that time. Like, for instance, the rise and fall of WCW DVD. That changed a lot of fans' perception about WCW and the way WCW went down. But the only thing is, unless you actually saw it live go down from start to finish, it's really hard to get the full grasp on that wrestler. For instance, Hulk Hogan, a lot of people hate him right now because of everything that he's done, but it's really hard to get a grasp on what a big star Hulk was back in the day. As far as the DVDs go, yeah, they change the story, and they totally influence the fans' perception about the wrestler. WWE can pretty much do anything they want on a DVD, and they know that most of the fans haven't been watching for 30 years, like myself and Andre and Wrestling Jesus. We all been watching 30 years. We've seen every wrestler come and go, out of the sport for the last 30 years. So we know the real story. But if you don't know the real story and you watch the DVDs, you really think that that's the way it happened. You really think that that's actually factual, when truth be told, a lot of the DVDs, WWE DVDs, are not 100% factual. Those stories are sugar-coated to tell a sexy story. And that's true. So remember, when you're watching a DVD, it's not 100% the way things really went down. It's shifted to tell the WWE's point of view, the way that the story went down. They manipulate their shit to get you to believe their version of the story, their side of the story. Remember, there's always three sides of a story. There's my side, your side, and there's the truth. And a lot of those DVDs are not 100% the truth. But if you come here and you ask me questions, I will tell you the truth on what went down with, say, Goldberg when he didn't get along with Jericho. Maybe they don't put that on the DVD, or maybe they just interviewed Jericho on the DVD. That's going to change your perception of the Jericho and Goldberg feud. Look, I'm pretty much an expert on this stuff. I can pretty much tell you the way it really went down, just being around it. But the DVDs are a good source for information. But remember, they're not 100% factual. They're one-sided. These DVDs are produced by WWE, manufactured by WWE, made for WWE to make money. They're not 100% true though. They change the facts, they change the stories, and that will answer Andre's question last night. Does the DVDs change the perception of the fans' opinions of the wrestler? Yes. Look at the Ultimate Warrior DVD. From 2005 to like 2010, when they had that DVD out and they didn't have a new one yet, everyone thought bad about the Ultimate Warrior. No one really knows if he held McMahon up for the money or anything like that, but everyone assumes that it has to be true. It was on a DVD. Remember, DVD is not 100% true. You know, just ask me, ask some of the older fans, and we'll tell you the way it really went down. Gentlemen, I thank you.